This is what we call hater shit. There is no better term. I was supposed to have a consultation scheduled. Hi, you guys. So I'm just going to do a quick eyeshadow look. I was supposed to have a consultation scheduled for noon today, but it got moved. Thank God, because I would rather be here with you guys doing a makeup look. I woke up this morning, my face was super swollen. I tried to splash some cold water on it. Anyone who knows, can see when I've had like a rough night. It's very evident in my eyelids. I don't have hooded eyes. I have, I don't have that. So when I wake up and I can't find my eyelid, I know something has gone on. And that's kind of where I've been. So I splashed some cold water on my face and I'm trying to decrease the swelling. But we're just going to go ahead and move forward with the makeup look because I would like to get some content done for the actual webisodes today. Xavier finished, if you guys have been keeping up with us, Xavier finished the script for webisode number 2. And it was stolen overnight. Can you even imagine, who would steal that? It's so sad. We work really hard on these things and they just, nonstop are just interfering. It's real fucked up. But we didn't really let it get to us. It really did bother me a lot and still does. But he just went ahead and did a rewrite on episode 2. I have episode 1 already storylined out. We just don't have the script written. So we're gonna get going on that. I just wanted to just jump on here and give you guys an update on the situation while I do my makeup. And that's about it. So I'm doing production for the webisode currently, which is kind of like a satirical, almost like groaner type of style of comedy.
Extremely dry.
Everything is super exaggerated and dramatic, but also very dry. And we're having a lot of fun with it. I mean, I am. Xavier, are you enjoying yourself?
I am the only writer for the show currently, and it's work. It's work. Right?
I don't know if you guys can hear him.
Scripts keep getting stolen.
Yeah. So, whatever. We're working on it. We have no idea who would steal from, the scripts from us. This is not scripted. No one has my permission to use any of my ideas or content at all whatsoever. We just keep on rolling with the punches and doing our best. But I might be heading down to South Beach for a few days or weeks just to finish working on things in an environment that's quieter and just more peaceful. The only thing is my son has a birthday coming up. You guys know I have a 14-year-old son, a 16-year-old daughter, and a 9-year-old daughter. And my son has a birthday coming up in March, and I want to make sure I'm here for that so that I could do some sort of decoration or something for him. But Chicago's fucking cold. And in a safe indoor situation, it's very easy to be productive. The situation that they're currently holding us in is neither safe nor indoor. So we're walking basically from business to business all day, every day. Just hoping that the funding comes through with zero communication. Xavier's phone is broken, so his father has to call through my Google Voice number, which he is not doing. And
if not, I have
Xavier's phone is in his father's name, so he can't even. We even tried going to Verizon to get it replaced, and he can't without his father. So we're literally going from business to business, purchasing one thing and sitting there as long as possible, working on scripts and consultations and content and any and everything that we can while we try to get through this growing pain. A lot of people, influencers, or we'll call them intellectual property vandals. Okay. A lot of them, frown upon sharing the struggle openly. I feel the opposite. I feel like it's not embarrassing. I feel like too many people assume that in entertainment or production, we're just sitting around doing makeup and having, cake and tea. It's not that way. Life is extremely, incredibly stressful. We've always got a million projects going on all at once. Even when we're in an Airbnb for a period of 2 or 3 days, nothing is calm. There is an endless amount of, just stuff going on. So we're rolling with the punches, like I said, and we're utilizing every business and backdrop that we can find to both stay warm as well as creative. So that's where we are. I've spoken with the big kids, Viviana and Lewis, every day. I haven't spoken with my youngest, my daughter Alexis. She's 9, and she has a different father than the older 2 kids, and I am concerned. It's been, I want to say 3 weeks since I've been able to speak with her. I have primary joint custody of all 3 of my children, but since the drama happened with Dylan after the show and all of the false narratives that were being perpetuated, the children had to go stay with their father for the first time in their entire lives, which has been awful, absolutely terrible. Like the worst punishment I've ever endured in my entire life. And we're going on month 37, I believe, of that. So if you guys are new here, welcome. This is GoPro Solo. We are always looking for ideas, writers, collaborators, videographers. Right now, Xavier and I are doing mostly everything on our own. There is a team in place, but with everything else and all the corrupt situations taking place, a lot of people have expressed concern with physically, being close to each other. So we have to be super careful about who we're working with and, what kind of work is getting done. Because we don't want anyone else to be harmed or involved in any sort of negativity. If you guys have been following along, they launched a huge smear campaign against me in 2019 that got over 1.5 million views just on TikTok. My ex, Dylan Smith, who I went to 173, he looks like a model. He looks like he was chiseled out of stone. Very, very beautiful person on the outside. On the inside, he is very dark, and we had some huge issues. All of those issues were hidden from the public when the show aired. Issues with substance abuse, issues with domestic abuse. I am worried about him. I've never stopped worrying about him. It's just the amount of abuse I endured as a result of my relationship with him. It doesn't allow me to even care about what's going on with him. If I even put forth one moment of effort into wondering if he's okay, I feel like I'm punished for it. So I'm trying to just stay focused, on the projects that we've got going on. It's very hard to let go when all of this began. It starts and ends with him, which is what my lawyer says, which is what the police say, which is what I say. My relationship with him started all of this, and, it all goes right back to him. These are his friends that are in question. They're his life events that are in question, not mine. So I'm experiencing, a bunch of the adversity that I'm going through only because of my relationship with him, if that makes sense. With that being said, I really have no idea what the fuck is going on. It's been 4 years. I don't talk about Love After Lockup anymore. Like, I barely ever talked about it. Why are you guys, or why are some people still talking about it? Who even knows that show exists? You know what I'm saying? So it's just weird. Reality TV was not my first choice for what I was going to do with my life. It was kind of like being in the corner and having a big, huge guy block your way and say, if you want out of this corner, you have to do this. And me being like, I guess. So I did that show. It's not at all real. Even though they say it's reality TV, they basically recorded me for a week, all around the clock at different times in different situations, and then just chopped it up however they wanted. So none of that is real. But I still can use it, you know, as like a part of my acting portfolio. So I don't really regret it. And I don't blame the problems that I've gone through, you know, on the show completely. I think it's an equal mix of, like I said, Dylan and his crimes. And the show. And like I said before, literal teams of people that have been hired with the purpose of slandering. I've taken so many screenshots of accounts that have been created only for the purpose of degrading me. There are hundreds, no less. Search my name, you know? So, none of it's true, and I try to just stay focused on what I've got going on. But GoPro Solo was my production company that I created in 2015 or 16. And at first the content was largely based on like sexy content, and I was doing direct to consumer content sales. I called them private collection. So it would be like I'd create a relationship or a rapport with the client or the customer and hear and listen and assess, you know, their request and what they wanted. And then myself and either my assistant at the time was Amy. I worked with a couple of other people in that capacity. Or just alone, I would create and script some sort of content to sell to the person as a, you know, private collection and not circulate it mainstream. And people would pay between 20, you know, and 100 or more depending on what they were asking for. You know, and then they were paying obviously for that content to be unique and customized to them. So you don't post that up on your main pages or your public pages. You're producing content to go to your customers individually based on their needs and their desires. So that was the beginning of GoPro Solo. After I was sexually assaulted, I decided that I didn't want to do anything sexy anymore. I had been sexually assaulted as a child, and in the initial stages of creating sexy content, with no, obviously, physical touching, just online only, it was super liberating, you know? It was like, wow, I can say, no, I won't do that for you, or yes, I will do that for you, or, you know, no, that's not appropriate for me to record, or no, that's not, you know, my style. And I think that taking my power back by doing that, you know, it helped me a lot. It clearly offended some people that I was able to take that power and control back over my sexuality, because they began targeting me and sexually assaulting me again. And I've reported it to the police numerous times. There has been no assistance or intervention. My next move was to take the GoPro Solo production label that I had been working with and created, and change it and make it mainstream, make it focused, make it fitness focused, make it yoga focused, make it family focused, make it fashion focused, make it focused on any of the other things that are truly me. Because before I met Dylan in 2015, I had only ever had missionary style, plain normal sex. I was so bland and generic. I really had no identity, you know, nor did I have a desire, you know, to do anything sexual. So Dylan was really, you know, a key player in the coercion that was taking place. Some people call it persuasion. I call it blatant coercion. If you have to ask someone for 3-4 months to do something and threaten to take away love if they don't, that's coercion, not persuasion. So, you know, I just do my best to remember those times, remember all of the lessons, most specifically with regards to production, while I was doing that. And just, you know, change the subject matter of the content. In the meantime, while I'm doing all of that, I have a fan club since 2019 of people posing as law enforcement, okay, chasing me, either in vehicles, ripping me out of my home. They're not real law enforcement. These people are phonies, and they're dressing up like cops and following me all around. So I'm doing everything I can to be a good mother, stay on top of the children, you know, and what they've got going on, and make sure they know that I love them so much and that there's no place I'd rather be, while also staying healthy, mind, body, and soul, listening to sermons and keeping up on my spirituality, staying active, walking 1, 2, 3 miles a day, as well as doing my ab work, desperately trying to get back into a gym. If anyone knows of a gym that will sponsor me, I will go there now. I want to compete. I'm super obedient and, you know, capable and willing when it comes to fitness coaching and listening to my coach. I've had a prep coach before. I never went out of what they asked for me, not dietarily, not, you know, I always kept up 2-time workouts a day and stuck to the diet. So if anyone knows of anyone who wants to help with that, that's kind of my next fitness step. I lost 20 pounds since having the babies. I'm still up like 20, maybe 15. So that's it, you guys. Working on everything. Content, the housing situation, funding for the show, and our next projects. GoPro Solo is also producing content for small businesses, so I know I've always been advertising this, but for anyone who doesn't know what that means, it means if you have a small business, say that you sell sunglasses, right? And you want to do it online, or you want to advertise that you do it online. I'm building landing or home pages for people to check out their products. I offer them for free by asking for only the niche of sales that you're making and the company business. It takes me about an hour to create it, up to 12 hours depending on how detail specific you want it and how much information about the business you provide to me. I'm giving that to the clients for free and producing all of their content for their social media
Images.
For an additional price. So I'm producing the landing page for free, curating it and actually producing it for them. And then from there, if they like it and they want to move forward, we're doing strategy meetings for $50, meaning we just discuss your overall business, where you want to go, and how we're planning to get you there. And then we have rate structures for everything else, social media management, modeling, photo shoots, statement photo shoots, product photo shoots, product cataloging, copywriting, which is writing descriptions of each product or service. So all of this goes underneath the GoPro Solo as well. And if you are someone who wants to create content, I welcome you to look at the page, look at the live broadcast, look at the reels. There's nothing that can't be done. Everything is possible with a wig, with makeup, with an outfit. You can create a whole different character. You don't need to go hiring professional actors or actresses or models. I've used myself as the medium on the GoPro Solo page, and I can show you that any aesthetic can be created with almost any budget.
You don't have to hire makeup people.
You don't have to hire anyone. You know, just call us and, you know, or look right there. You don't even need my help, to be honest. I've mapped the shit out for you guys in a way where you can quite literally go to any one of my pages or Google search anyone else who knows about it and figure it out. But if you do want more one-on-one coaching, you know, my DM is open. I've given you guys my phone number and my email address. You're more than welcome to hit me up. I love, you know, offering advice where I can. I don't know everything. And if you ask me a question I don't know the answer to, I won't participate in the conversation. I'll let you know I truly have no idea. But there is a lot that I do know, you know, and I'm really great at a lot of stuff. So
it's wide open with social media.
That's going on with GoPro Solo. We've got our second webisode about to come out. The first second webisode was stolen. So Xavier's on the rewrite. We're staying healthy, we're staying busy, we're staying active, right? Out the fucking police when they're not doing their job. You know, we're recognizing civil rights activists, and we're also taking a second to recognize how my civil rights have been being violated for a while, almost 8 years now. The original IA, that's Internal Affairs meeting, took place in 2016. I'm indicating that there was some foul play with law enforcement that was extorting me, telling me that if I didn't go undercover into certain situations that they were going to take away my children. It's been 8 years and still no one has followed up with me or come to take me out of this undercover role. And my life has quite literally fallen apart. 5-bedroom house, you know, money in the bank, legal, you know, custody and physical custody of all 3 of my children. Never had a drug problem, never been, involved in anything like that. Just the problems I had were, intentionally being deprived of sleep,
Liar.
stability, food, shelter. So we're doing our best to work through that. GoPro Solo is my lifeline. It's like my life vest that stays hovering above water. And every time they drag me down, in an effort to drown me and overwhelm me, I just kick my legs until I come back up to surface and just grab back onto that life vest. So, throwing myself into work and production and creation is the only thing keeping me alive right now. I am not okay. I am not happy. I do want to be home with my children. There's nothing, in the world that could possibly explain the lack of action. So the inaction taken by the authority figures.
Chicago PD.
Here in Chicago, and other places. Chicago's not the only place I filed. Like I said, Lombard is DuPage County, and I filed there, and they haven't done shit either. So my next question is, and I've asked this a million times, has the local government been taken over, or has this happened nationwide? When we changed presidency and when we changed, not cabinet, what's that word for when we changed the administration, was it essentially taken over? Is Biden nothing other than a mouthpiece for someone else's agenda? I don't know. I have reason to believe yes. I walked around. My issue being thrown away out of my home began in 2019 when BLM was in full force, when people were protesting, when people were flipping over cop cars and setting them on fire, when people were being ripped out of their vehicles and their cars were being stolen from them, and they were being left standing in the middle of the winter in the middle of Michigan Avenue, like, where do I go from here? So there was a whole bunch of things going on, and that was in 2019, and I've pretty much had no time to come up for air since then. And, for that reason, I think it is quite possible that the government has been taken over. That
Cooperation of world intelligence is not.
I don't know anything about that. All I know is when I call the police station or when I walk into the police station, nothing looks legit. The people they have wearing uniforms look like they're, they truly look like they're there to either shoot some sort of raunchy porn or, pull a heist.
Nothing at all.
Or pull a heist. These are really sketchy characters. So, I encourage everyone to check in with law enforcement, check in with your local jurisdictions, and make sure that everything is still operating appropriately. Like I said before, the Daily Center hasn't been taking people for court dates in almost 4 years, 37 months. I've been petitioning nonstop for a court date, have not been able to get one. So there's most definitely something going on in Chicago. I continue to work on GoPro Solo. We are here for you. If you want a landing page, hit me up. I'll get it to you, within the hour. Within the hour of me receiving the request and the information that I need. If you guys want to collaborate on anything, if you want to do any challenges, if you have any ideas for your own brand that you want to work together on, I'm always open to conversation about that. And that's always free. I think that brainstorming, think sessions with other collaborators are important for both, parties. Even if no exact ideas are used, inspired thought, is always beneficial. So again, the DM is open if you guys have anything to add. I'm kind of just frustrated overall with the situation, missing my children. Tired of talking about it, to be honest, just tired of talking about it. There needs to be some action taking place, period. So, like I said before, my body is a no trespassing zone. Officers, I'd love for you to put as much effort into keeping people out of the throats, booties, and vaginas of women and children all around as you do removing the homeless from underneath the awnings in the Gold Coast and River North. Can I get some reciprocity there? Can you guys spread out the energy that you're giving to River North and its awnings? Can our bodies be as safe and protected as the fucking awnings of River North and Streeterville? ? Exclamation point. If you don't know what I'm talking about, consider yourself lucky. Consider yourself lucky. But yeah, that's about it. I don't know what you guys have been up to or how things are in your own cities. But like I said before, check in with law enforcement, check in with judges, make sure everyone's okay. I know also when the pandemic was going on, let me explain what was going on. Which one of you remembers, it came out on CNN, but also local news channels, there was a judge. Her home was invaded by someone posing as I believe a USPS or a FedEx or a USPS delivery driver. Do you remember this? Her son and her husband were shot and killed. She was in office, in public office, a senator, I think. And during BLM, right around the time the Capitol was stormed, they showed up at her house as delivery drivers, and they held her husband and son hostage, ultimately shot and killed them both at point blank range, and left her alive. They've done the same with a lot of the executive level professionals from any and every business, which is why COVID. When you don't have people coming downtown to report to an office every day, it's a lot harder to confirm their safety, right? There are ways to make it appear as though they're, participating in Zoom meetings and other meetings and remote work, when really in actuality they're not even there, or it's someone impersonating them. Check on your neighbors, right? Check on your neighbors, check on your law enforcement, check on your public officials. I'm 100 million% that there's some weird shit going on here in Chicago. I really don't know how to handle it. I'm pretty sure that the Army and the National Guard are here. I have seen them here in Chicago, recently. I know they've got their hands full, especially with the hurricane in Florida and the mass destruction in, the southern states. So I know they've been coming back and forth, but just, look around, be observant, make notes.
About the only thing we haven't seen yet is foreign military.
Definitely something going on, so there's definitely something going on. Just pay attention. And other than that, stay focused on your own mental health. Stay focused on your own peace of mind. Stay aware of what's going on around you. Don't be a dummy. Don't be a fucking dummy. That's about all I have to say today. I don't know who is in charge of the editing on my photos and videos and pics, but I can tell you that if you've been watching since the beginning, you already know. But if you've only been watching since the Montclair days, there's been an excessive amount of badgering and stalking. They follow me around and they say things like, if I ever want to see my family alive again, I need to go to apartment number blah, 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 and prepare to have sex with 6 people. And I mean, real nasty shit, they say. So I truly have no way of knowing or gauging the situation, other than documenting every step of the way. So that's what I continue to do. And like I said before, I know a lot of you have had a lot of suggestions for the show. I'm not taking them because it seems like you guys want to exploit homelessness in the show or make it seem like a joke. I've never been homeless in my life. I've been supporting myself pretty much on my own since I was 14 years old. And the show is not for exploiting homelessness or any other problem. The show is for removing my consciousness from the hell that they're holding my body in. Does that make sense to you? My happy, my heaven, my home is where my children are. So anytime I'm being prevented from being home, I'm sad. Other things that contribute to sadness would be, sleep deprivation, food deprivation, so hunger, excessive exposure to cold, inability to reach my friends and family, so lack of love, affection, etc., and so forth. I'm not going to feel better until I'm back with my family and children, and that's just all there is to it. There's nothing. I have nothing else to say. We're going on 4 fucking years, that you people have kept me away from my social circle, my family circle, and the people who I love with no explanation. I'm still waiting. So they already launched a smear campaign against me in 2019. They called it Kill Coco, I'm sorry. And it was a smear campaign that was running off of the false narrative that I was mentally handicapped, combined with some sort of diamond thief. So none of that's been true. I've worked through that. I was attacked because of those false narratives. I don't have information against any diamond thief. If you are a diamond thief, you're safe as far as I'm concerned. I don't know anything on my head. They're putting dollar amounts on my head because of these implications that I'm some sort of diamond thief, or that I know of a diamond thief and that I'm trying to turn him in. This is not a joke. This is why I was beat over the head. People are afraid that I have some sort of information that's going to take away their freedom, and they're beating me. And I'm going to law enforcement saying, this person just beat the fuck out of me and split my head open. Can someone help me? And law enforcement's going, maybe you should make a doctor's appointment. I'm sorry?
Or get admitted.
I'm confused. Last time I checked, it was the law enforcement's job to keep... Wait, what does it say on the cars? Serve and protect, or protect and serve. That's right. So it is the job of law enforcement to serve and protect, right? I'm just making sure.
You know, ideally, past tense history.
Anyhow,
Just an idea.
at the end of the day, you know, they do whatever the fuck they want. So, and we just do what we can.
These people don't have anything to do. They're just fucking hanging out. It's a subsidized hanging out situation.
Pretty much.
Just like Getter.
But then ask yourself, if law enforcement has been taken over, which is what we suspect, who is keeping society safe? Could that have something to do with why I've been unable to reach my children?
Generic business, godless generic business, unhappy generic business. They cherry pick.
None of this is new. It's just a repeat. If you guys are looking for the next play, go to my last account, One Heather GEE. Anticipate what they've got coming next and just cut it right off, you know? That's it. They're unoriginal, boring, lacking in creativity, and they're trying to cut corners by doing the same predatory, you know, set of events that they've already done. If you guys are paying attention, all the answers can be found on that page, One Heather GEE. Everything about the hostile takeovers, everything about the extortions, it's all there.
Everything about them following the mistakes.
Also, if anyone is telling you that I'm running from law enforcement, I don't give a fuck if I murder a guy. I will never run from law enforcement. If they want to lock me up, they know where to find me. So don't ever buy into that shit. Ever.
Better than that.
Way better. I'm not going to talk anymore. The rest of this is just going to be me doing my makeup as quickly as possible. I've literally just been being here, like, going like this for the whole entire hour. Yes, please. This one's cold. If they'll do it. again, none of this is for entertainment. None of it. This is my real life. So just so everyone knows, if anyone is also telling you that this is for fun or entertainment, it's not. I've already gone to the police about this so many times, you can't even count them. This is 100% an intentional, premeditated mishandling of numerous cases, resulting in the displacement of many, myself included, and I just so happen to be one of the only ones that's actually a mother and has 3 children. So it's affected me in a much different way. For the other girls that have been affected, they just board a flight and just jump on a new dick. Period. Have you ever heard that line in the Future song? She gon' fuck me for that AP. That's asset protection. So they're putting people in a place to know that they're not safe, that they are 100% targets, and then telling them either you have sex with me or you go outside and be targeted. It's classy, right? Got some bad bitches. They gon' fuck me for that AP. And Xavier does the same thing. Just pay attention. You'll see.
Xavier does the same thing. Why would you be with him? That's fucked up. I don't like him, but that's something. No offense, but why would you need Xavier to protect you? You're bigger than him. I'm sorry, I can't. So she pretty much has said Xavier has raped her and made her have sex with him in order for him to protect her. I wish he would listen to this. He's not there right now. He walked off to get her something. So it was warm. And that's how she talks about it.
You're still recording? How much is your help? See if I can do this while you're still recording.
Can you just not?
Can you just not?
I don't have sabotage. No, Dylan and Marissa are not involved in my life in any way. I haven't seen them or spoken to them in years. Every once in a while, I get like inundated with a whole bunch of videos of them. Literally within 5 minutes, I got, and I didn't post it because I don't do shit like that. I'm not a grimy bitch. But Dylan was overdosing. I don't think he was overdosing. I think he was fishing out. So fishing out happens when we're being badgered. So basically, law enforcement or whoever is responsible, usually they employ someone who's not technically an employee of the government, because the unethical tactics that they're using in badgering are so excessive that they would most certainly end up in a lawsuit. So what they do is they employ someone who's not technically a cop to follow, harass, and badger the target. So say Xavier is my target, right? I would find a sore spot for Xavier, like, I don't know, let's just
family.
pretend he has a bad relationship with his mom, or someone made fun of him because he was so close to his mom and they said he was incesting with his mom, right? I, as the antagonist, would be employed to literally just talk shit to Xavier, and I might use that. It's a sore subject, right? So these people will go around him, and they'll say stuff like, oh yeah, mommy fucker, or things like that, which this is like very basic level badgering and targeting. They go hard, and I'm talking, when I say they go hard for weeks, months. They stalk and harass their target until you are of such corrupt mindset, all you do is walk around yelling at the world. I mean, it's intense, and it is, you can't get away from it. It doesn't matter if you move your physical location, they target you and badger you anyway. It's all illegal. All of it is unethical. All of it is immoral, and they've been doing it to both of us for quite some time. I know they've been doing it to Marissa and Dylan as well, and I know that it has to do with Mills and the credit card fraud case. And I also know that as much as they badger and target, none of them are ever going to give them what they're looking for because they're not permitted to. Even if they wanted to sit there and tell you what you want to know, as much targeting as you take against them to badger, there's the same amount of, if not more, protecting all that information. What, you think that a person's doing credit card fraud for their own good? No, they're not. They're doing it to change the country. Do you not understand that yet? Are you guys that slow? So as much as you go on and on targeting and hurting, you're causing harm mentally and otherwise to these people who are trapped in the middle, you're still not getting the information that you're looking for. No, all you're doing is harming someone who you don't even know for no reason.
Turning up the chaos frequency.
Exactly, absolutely. They're turning up the chaos frequency 100%. So anyways, back to this. So I get this inbox of the day from, I think it was Amber. You guys know that blogger Amber? I get this inbox from her, and it's like this video of Dylan laying on a bench with like his shoulders straight back, like hanging off, convulsing, like it looks like he's seizing. They marked it as an overdose. Marissa's the one taking the video, and she's like in the background narrating, going, like zooming in on him, going, don't do drugs, kids, ha ha ha, and like laughing. I remember I saw Dylan do that before, and I also remember what my response was. It wasn't a laugh. I was in tears. I was crying. I was kneeling next to him, shaking him. I thought he was dead. I had never seen anything like it before in my life. They call it fishing out. It's when they cut off their own oxygen supply with nitrous oxide and hold their breath until they're seizing. It feels like, have you guys heard ever the sound like, wah, 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 like when your ears are ringing? It all has to do with an oxygen deficit. It's kind of like that, and then you just black out. For him, he starts seizing. It's called fishing out. That's what he was doing. He wasn't overdosing. I don't know if it's like a heart attack. I just know that it happens when your oxygen supply is cut off for too long, and that's his favorite way to escape the badgering. So I see these videos coming to me, and these bloggers are, throwing fire. They want me to circulate these videos. They want me to exploit the situation. I won't. I am equally as concerned with what's going on with everyone as I was in 2019. Nothing has changed. Nothing. So if we've got agencies that are employed for no other purpose than causing such harm and badgering to innocent people, that they're sitting around seizing, convulsing, engaging in illicit drug behavior and super risky sexual behavior, and to escape the nonstop badgering from law enforcement or their associates, then we've already identified the problem, and we've already also identified it's not bringing solutions. So why would we continue to do that shit? And them circulating, those videos to me, they've got one of Marissa also, all fucked up, super fucked up, can barely even stand up. She's laying there mostly naked. She looks like a child. Marissa has drug experience. Marissa's not new to this world. I am very new. Everything that you hear me talking about it with like surprise and shock, because I've never seen this shit before. Dylan and Marissa have been living this life since they were 12, 11 years old. So they're very particular, very, well informed. Marissa has a post, and in the caption, and it was around the same time I was becoming awake, they were waking me up. She wrote in the caption, what's new to you is old to me. So they've been harassing and badgering and following her around for years and years and years, you know. And I truly and 100% believe that most of her drug use most likely is surrounding this badgering and this, you know, incessant stalking. Because when you're coming from the perspective of law enforcement, you don't give a fuck about the safety or comfort of your target. You know, you want the information that you want. They're not considering the other side. What kind of harassment do you think a 12 or 14-year-old girl is going through if bad guys suspect that they're informing? So police aren't being helpful. The other criminals aren't being helpful. Who the fuck is being helpful? Where are the advocates? Who is advocating for these people? No one. No one. Instead, they just continue to pass the buck.
Collect their data. Collect these individuals' data. Just watch. People are extremely voyeuristic. Don't do anything.
Very sadistic. Very sadistic. I told you guys before, I was laying in my apartment at Montclair, in my apartment on the floor, after a workout, and I was being so badgered for so long. I stayed exactly where I was lying in the corner for about 24 hours without moving, speaking, doing anything, just frozen like this. So numb, tears wouldn't even cry out. Tears wouldn't even cry out. It was awful, you know, and what were they saying during the badgering? I'd love to share. They were calling me every name in the book: whore, crackhead, bad mom, you know, and elaborating on that. Then from there, it went to they kidnapped my mother, my children, my grandmother, and that they were basically strong-arming them out of their homes. And holding them against their will, and that if I wanted to save them, if I ever wanted to see them again, I needed to go to an apartment number on the 6th floor and subject myself to being raped by 6 to 9 men. And they saw that that one really caused me an emotional response, so that's how they learned that I'm triggered by sexual assault. And they knew my background, they knew that I've been victimized before. So they knew that was the way to get to me. And so they sat for hours on the line, badgering me, telling me that I needed to subject myself to be raped if I wanted to save my family. That's one example of the badgering. So if you see a grown man like Dylan, 6'2", very strong, rendering himself unconscious with the use of nitrous oxide, you can pretty much guess that there's some pretty intense psychological abuse taking place.
It's a hard one for me to deal with every time I talk about it.
P.S. to this day, I know, babe, I'm sorry. To this day, I haven't been able to reach my mother. I have no idea what's going on. None. I call and text almost every day. My dad says the same thing. Try to be calm. If there was something wrong, I'm sure I'd know. But I've also seen with my own eyes how people are silenced. So sometimes something is wrong, but they can't open their mouth and say anything. So I'm sitting here on the Gold Coast getting fucking stalked and harassed by law enforcement. Is this mine? Getting stalked and harassed by law enforcement. My family could be in danger. I have no way to know, you know? No way. They keep cutting off my phone contact. They keep interfering with my Airbnbs. When I go to the courthouse and explain what's going on, they say the same thing over and over again, that I need money and I need to hire a civil rights lawyer. Well, I'm smart. I don't have income. I can file indigent, can I not? But what happens when you file indigent? They assume that everyone who doesn't have any money is also dumb. What happens when there's a wild card someone without money is actually not dumb. Now what? Can you defend yourselves?
Snake play, so to speak. Person doesn't have any kind of fucking rules. And there's
I mean, what's been accomplished by keeping me from my family and friends, by separating me from my children? Are any of us or any of you doing better? Doubtful. I mean, I can circulate the videos, but for what? You know, I just told you what happened. Dylan was fishing out, Marissa was overdosing, or who knows what. We know that they have drug problems. There's never been a question about that. Everyone knows that they have tremendous drug problems. They need treatment. Both of them need treatment. Why would I want to circulate that shit as it's not funny? Me seeing someone struggle and in pain is not funny to me. I don't know what's wrong with you people. It's sick. Why would you want to see that? For what?
point the finger. These the motherfuckers that don't step 2 feet outside the door. Front door.
They're under protection. They're either under pressure or under protection. Those are the only options.
All they have is their bullshit judgments. The cops is extremely pointed. But it didn't seem like the 18th precinct there was anything being done there. They were just...
Well, they don't know anything.
they were
No
just
one knows
replacements.
anything.
They were just replacements.
No one knows anything about anything when it comes to the policing. And the police are telling me we're not allowed to arrest anyone anymore. Everyone's throwing out lawsuits for getting arrested. They're like, we have no power at all anymore, the police said.
So why did you get a bullshit ass court date?
I threw it away. I told the officer right there to his face, on video, I've petitioned the court 6 times for being victimized by rape, abuse, and robbery. I've been granted 0 court dates. You think that I'm gonna go to a trespassing court date? You're sick. You're sick. Let my abuser show up to a court date with me there for rape. And I'll meet you there and we could talk about the trespassing at that time. How does that sound? We'll hear 2 trespassing cases at the same time. You helped this woman down and trespassed into her vagina. What do you have to say about that, sir? No, law enforcement's been of 0 assistance in any one of those cases. Law enforcement is the one that threw me out of my apartment at 2037 West Roscoe. Judge Sandoval, Judge Harris. You guys can go to the One Heather G account, the number 1 Heather GEE. Go to the videos. The video is right there of my abuser saying, yes, so what, I beat the fuck out of you. You embarrassed me. While on parole. I brought that to the courthouse and said, here you go. He's beating me. He's using every drug there is. Please help. And their response was to throw me outside with 5 or 6 bags of my stuff. And that's where I've been ever since. Unless I've been able to earn enough income to put an Airbnb, to get an Airbnb. I've probably spent $40,000 on Airbnbs. At least. It's not a joke, that's real.
One of our main lawsuits.
I lost my pregnancy, went into preterm labor, was laying in bed, started having contractions, went into the shower, and went into full labor at an Airbnb.
But tell them about the day before. The day before was a psyop.
The whole thing's been a setup. Understand, and I've said this over and over, I cannot stress the point enough. Everything that has gone on in my life over the past 3 years, 3.5 years, has been curated for someone else's agenda. All of it. All of it. They picked a fight with us on December 25th, Christmas Day, because they said Xavier was not permitted to stay on the reservation and that he needed to leave, or we needed to pay $150 more.
On the spot.
I had already paid $300, I think, or three nights. I had no more money. It's Christmas Day. I'm pregnant with twins, and you're trying to say that my fiance has to leave unless I come up with $150 on the spot? We had no money. We're going back and forth with Airbnb all day long. 12 hours later, I lose the pregnancy and the babies die. There's no correlation there. You don't see any. I mean, how much stress can one human being take, realistically?
That was the most stress I've seen.
It's exhausting. It's exhausting. And I'm tired of my health, my mental health, my financial health, my everything being the thing that's always on the line. Like, there has to be a better way. You people are fucking me up over and over again. I never said I wanted resiliency. I never said I wanted strength. I wanted peace. I wanted fun. I wanted prosperity. Who the fuck would ask to suffer for several years on end? Who would want that? Nobody wants that. Thanks, babe. No, it's okay. I will. So, anyways, when I talk about this shit, there's like some sort of a reel. It might be on my TikTok, where it's like, what did I say about it? I was like doing cues that I'm like in emotional distress. One of them is like me like vaping on a vape. One of them is working out. One of them is, there's a bunch of them, but like one of them is doing my makeup like in a fury, like doing the same eye or eyebrow. You could see exactly what I'm talking about right now. Like, I'm so anxious. This is what I do a good majority of my day. If I'm applying makeup, I probably need 20 minutes to put it on. I probably realistically take 2 to 4 hours because I'm just literally just anxiously going over the same thing over and over. Which is why I ended up falling in love with bold eyebrows. It's like travel the path of least resistance, right? If I use a light eyebrow, my anxiety causes it to like turn into an upside down Nike check mark, like that you can see from a mile away. So I'm just embracing it as part of my look. I am not okay. I am not okay at all with any of the things that have gone on, with the way my situation and case have been handled, with the fact that I'm still separated from my 3 children. None of it is okay. So, anyways, good live, good updates. Right before I leave you guys, I'd like to just quickly remind myself of 5 things that I have to be grateful for. Let's do 10, just to pick up the vibe. I'm grateful for my children. I'm grateful for Xavier and his assistance and support. I'm grateful for makeup. I'm grateful for mental and physical health. I'm grateful for wellness. I'm grateful for creativity. I'm grateful for the distraction that the show provides me. I'm grateful for love. I'm grateful for food. I'm grateful for shelter and heat. I'm grateful for showers, which I haven't had one in 5 or 6 days now. I am grateful for the shoes on my feet, the clothes on my back. I'm grateful for, how many is that? Is that 10? Grateful for all of you guys and any support that I receive here on social media. I'm grateful for experience, fun, money, friends, family, abundance, wealth, health, prosperity, fashion, fitness, all of that. Food, I think I said that, coffee. But yeah, we'll leave it there and end it on a positive note. I love you guys, and I hope everyone has a great day, and we'll check back in later.
Oh, Lord. Marissa Buckle is the woman in the video and also the narrator for the next clip of Dylan. Please stop asking me for info about them. I have not seen or spoken with them all year. Nobody cares. Oh my gosh. Ew. Dude, that's disgusting. What? I've never seen these. That's sad. I'm not trying to be mean, I'm just trying to be honest. I bet y'all they still doing the same shit. Dude. They've seen each other do this. They've seen each other on each other's social platforms. Thousands of people have seen this. They've seen themselves, what they look like doing this, and I bet you they still do it. I hear my daughter in the background. Oh my God.
So good. I watched a documentary on
Well, that's messed up. Is there people standing around while he's laying there? I feel like I need to be in the world of my daughter. She's in her room singing that song. I'm still standing. And I'm over here watching people not knowing how to live. I'm not trying to be rude, but people, y'all get help if y'all are on drugs. It is not worth it. People are standing there. You can hear them. And they just don't care. What real friends? Y'all are real cool, dude. Real cool.
What are you talking about? The peacock with the dark like with the dress? Oh, peacock for sure. Oh, that'd be fun. But that's like the people that are about the holes, whatever. We just talk these nonsense people. I'm so good. I watched a documentary on peacock. I don't know if that's good or not. What are you talking about? The peacock with the dark like with the dress? Oh, peacock for sure. Oh, that'd be fun. But that's like the people that are
No, I can't do that shit.
Okay, yes, I did get arrested yesterday or the day before. I spoke about it openly on the GoPro Solo Entertainment account. I'll link it here. If you want to hear about it, you can go over there. It's in the live section. So the middle...
My body is a no trespassing zone as well, officer. Can you help me enforce that with as much enthusiasm as you secure the awnings of the Gold Coast and River North?
We're downtown on Michigan Avenue, Chicago.
Supposedly Nordstrom's.
We're not at Nordstrom, but we're right outside of it.
Look at this shit, dude.
What the fuck?
The thick oil slick.
That is disgusting. What the fuck? I'm blown right now. We're literally at Nordstrom. This is crazy.
Cancer causing shit.
It feels like they're trying literally to kill us. Like, they don't give us money to eat or drink, and then the water that's free looks like this. Like, can someone step in here? I don't...